We're here at Sei Less. I'm Brian Kortovich, along with Dara, founder, owner, managing partner of the renowned Sei Less here in New York City. ACES Night Out, 2023 NBA Draft Week.
Great turnout. The way you outfit the restaurant with the ACES brand, some of our sponsors, I think it just kind of brought everything together.
There's no place quite like Sei Less. Obviously, your background in nightlife, your proven track record of class establishments. How has this become the go-to spot in New York City for basketball and culture?
I think it's just creating a place where people feel comfortable, feels like home for them. We have private dining rooms and our proximity to Madison Square Garden and a tremendous team. You could be at the bar, you could be in a private room. The date night if you're coming after a sporting event, after a concert, or you could be here for a birthday party. There's a little bit for everyone. By word of mouth, the model has spread.
That's amazing. You can have the vision, but you need the team and everyone else to follow it up. So shout out to the Sei Less team and the staff and everything that you guys put together. So the number 2 pick, Brandon Miller, pulled up. How did that all come about?
Close with some of the people on his team, so there was always talk about him potentially coming. He came after the draft, had a great time celebrating his success, and I think he's in a great situation in Charlotte.
What do you think his ceiling is, NBA-wise? Well, it's comparable.
Yeah, I don't like to make comparisons because you think you know and you don't know anything. So here we say less and we just kind of let the players take care of that.
Like that. So growing up as a kid, I obviously had dreams of playing in the NBA, took the game pretty far. But you growing up, what was your love for the game? Did you play? And what's your, obviously Sei Less being rooted in basketball culture and sport. Tell us about that love for the game.
NBA Jam was probably the extent of my basketball career. But growing up in New Jersey, in the early 2000s, I was DeJuan Wagner, Al Harrington coming out of New Jersey. So I started watching some of the local teams, St. Pat, St. Anthony's, and then I ended up going to Syracuse in 2003, which was Carmelo Anthony's freshman year, and they won a national championship. So from there, I was hooked on the Big East, ACC, college basketball, and then a lot of those players that I watched, during that era of, the last 20 years were my clients over the last 10 years. Now some of their children, like Kenyon Martin was my client, now Kenyon Martin's son is my client. So it just kind of, trickled down. A lot of the guys that I took care of 10 years ago are coaches in the NBA, from Ty Lue, Chauncey Billups, a lot of these guys.
I'm a brand guy with ACES and the platform and all the marketing and everything that we do. How did the logo come about and the name?
I always had a vision of creating kind of a members club for the culture, but obviously being a restaurant first. Having someone doing the sh symbol, which is how we got to the logo that we have now. The keyhole kind of came afterwards and it kind of really brought everything together. I was looking for a name, Say No More was what kept popping into my head, but I realized that was too wordy and it didn't really fit. So, another way of saying Say No More is Say Less, and it's a little more culturally fitting. Played around with the spelling. I had a couple of people kind of, help me with the logo. One person helped with the SL logo, another one with the keyhole. And together they came,
When you saw it, you were like, that's it.
Yeah, there was a couple of different...
How much for that one, right?
There was a couple of different renditions, but, the one that we picked kind of stood out.
Some of the challenges, everyone sees the end picture. Everyone sees you going like this with Chris Paul, with A Boogie, with all the guys, all the big time rappers, artists. Like, they don't see the day-to-day. They don't see the work that's put in. So tell us a day in the life of Dara. What does he go through? Obviously, you got the family. We've become close over the last few months. Tell us about the day-to-day work life.
So there's no hours, there's no, punch in, punch out. You're always on. My phone is my best friend and my worst enemy. My wife hates the phone. When I'm home, I'm still attached to it. But that's, the level of service and, accessibility that I have to my clients. No matter what time of day or where I am, I'm always accessible. And I think that's really what's helped build, my personal brand as well as the Sei Less brand. I try to do for other people what I would want myself when I go out to dine.
I think the power of the brand platform has always been there with ACES, but just as we continue to elevate, to be able to collaborate with you and your track record in nightlife in this industry, I think it means for a lot to merge the basketball and the culture and the nightlife industry. So for us, I hope it's the first of many.
I look forward to doing many more together.
Many more.
People that do good work, they win in the end.
My advice to anybody who's trying stuff like we are, keep swinging, man. You're gonna hit that home run eventually.
Say less and win more.